of the day 24. This is Chris Jurgensen coming to you from Tokyo. I hope everybody's doing good and staying warm. Anyways, we're continuing on with Barry Harris's minor 6 diminished in this lick of the day. Again, like I said in the last video, we don't want to downplay the importance of this scale by just learning licks. But I think, getting used to the scale and playing some licks is a good stepping stone to get into the real stuff, which is the harmony it creates. So, if you want to understand the theory behind it, I don't want to explain the same thing every time. So you just go back to the last video and sort of check it out. If you really want to get into the whole entire thing in all its fine detail, just go get the video. Go get the PDF at Patreon, because I spent a lot of time making it as detailed as possible. So if this video is like 5 minutes, the PDF is a good hour's worth of information. Okay. So, anyways, I'll explain a little bit though. Again, So let's go look at the scale, and what this scale is. It's a minor scale, right? This is going to be B minor diminished, and let's look at it. Let's think about it as a B minor scale first, so we can understand it, right? It's a root, a second, a flat 3, a 4, a 5, a flat 6. This is where the difference is really, right? A sixth, and then this is a 7th, okay? But we're superimposing it over an E7 chord, right? Now we're using it for a dominant kind of scale. So what happens when we do that? Let's look at it from an E7 point of view. Well, that B note is the 5th of E, right? This is the 6th of E, right? It's a great note for the blues, right? We like that in the blues. This D note is the flat 7, right? Here's the root, right? Now this would be the 9th, which is a great blues sound. We like the sound of an E9 chord, right? Next, this G would be like a sharp 9, right? Or like a flat 3 if you want to think about it that way, because, that's common to the blues scale, and we like the sound of the blues scale for dominant chords. Next, what do we have here? Well, this is the 3rd of an E7 chord. And what's this over here? This one is like a sharp 11, or you can think of it as flat 5. That's how we sort of think about it when we play it in a blues scale. So it's sort of like the best of both worlds. It's like Lydian dominant and the blues scale sort of mixed up, right? And then, this is a great sound. So, getting on to the lick. When I was, I found out about Barry Harris, and I was really checking his stuff out. There's lots of good stuff. Remember, Things I Learned from Barry Harris is a great one for learning about Barry Harris's things, but also Barry has a lot of videos himself. So when I saw his video of him teaching somewhere, I believe at a music conservatory in Europe somewhere, he had the students play the scale using contrary motion, meaning one note would go up by a scale step and the other note would go down by a scale step, right? And the students really struggled with it, which I thought was pretty cool. Even, students at a conservatory struggled with it, but just that because there's an extra note in there, and that made them struggle a little bit. But see what happens when you do it that way. The notes have a really interesting chemistry together, and when you play it that way, you can really hear the chemistry. So I'm going to do that for you, okay? All right. So I'm starting with B. We're thinking B minor here, right? So let's play it from B. And that's what it sounds like. It's cool, right? But remember, we're playing it over E. So let's listen to it over E. And because we're playing E, we can play this 6-string open, right? So that's the sound we're looking for. Now, the next step, before we get to the lick, something that you want to remember is that when we reharmonize a scale, we get a whole series of chords. And that's where sort of really interesting things start to happen. Look, I'm starting from B minor 6. Right? But if you sort of borrow notes from one of the chords above or below, that's when really crazy, beautiful things start to happen. Right? This is the kind of sound that you can create with this scale. And so eventually that's what you want to start doing. I have some lessons like that, but you can check it out. Once again, if you want to get into the fine details of it, there's stuff on Patreon. I think if you probably downloaded all the PDFs, you'd have by this time, maybe a 50, 60 page book, and I add every month. So it's something you want to consider. Anyways, getting onto the lick. I'm just playing the scale in sort of the same way, in contrary motion. But I'm playing it over an E7 chord, so we have to sort of listen to it that way. So let me play that for you.